Hello and welcome. This is your host, Lizzabitty. So as you can see, we have a pinned comment. We are on the road to 1K. If you have not subscribed, please help us to reach our goal. So tonight we have a special guest that's going to join us, and we're going to be talking about some things today. Okay, repatriation and heritage, as well as some other stuff. So if you can please like the video. I am going to bring in my guest now. We have Exodus 876. Hello, Synovia, and thank you for joining.
All right. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I am great. How are you?
I'm good. So, you want to tell the audience just a little bit about yourself before we dive right into our conversation?
All right. Yeah, I'm Exodus 876 on YouTube, Instagram, and all those other things. I'm basically a person who is seeking freedom like so many of our brothers and sisters out there. So just wanted to, make some YouTube videos and actually explain how you actually get there from step, A all the way to step Z. Because it's not just a B for us, it's a Z. Okay. So yeah, but that's basically it.
Totally agree. Can you tell me how many countries on the continent have you visited?
Wow. Not as many as I want, but I've been to Ghana, I've been to Senegal, I've been to Sierra Leone, I've been to Tanzania, I've been to Nigeria, and I think I'm leaving somebody out. Somebody I'm leaving out. I know I've been to Ghana twice, but I haven't there's a lot of places, on our continent that I really want to go, and I haven't been able to go yet. But that is in the plans. But so far, that's where I've been. I spent a lot of time in the Caribbeans, traveling around there as well. So I've been some places.
Okay. So of the countries that you have visited, though, which ones would you say that you have more of an affinity for?
Is you gonna get me in trouble?
No.
You gonna get me in trouble because somebody goes see it and they be like, man. I would say I have to say Ghana.
Well, okay, tell us and then give us reasons why. Like for me, I like different countries for different things. So yours could possibly be the same.
Right. It's probably the same, but Ghana, I don't know, it just felt like I really, really belonged there. Gambia was very close, very, very close, and Tanzania was there too. But Ghana was just, I guess because I was raised and they took me to the Caribbean a lot, and Ghana looks just like that. Like it has the same vibe, the music, everything is the same. The foods, I can recognize some things, and I'm willing to try things. So I'm really open. I'll try anything, but I think in Ghana, it just fit my style. Ghanas have a flavor that everybody has their own flavor, but their flavor just talks to me. It's easier for me to learn. And I think people should look at that when they're talking about going overseas and traveling. Go where you gravitate to. Don't force anything. It should come naturally to you.
That's a good point. We can delve into that a little bit later. Okay, so you got Ghana, and that's it. So you didn't want to get in trouble. So I mean.
Well, because the majority, the big group of people that I know that would have a problem with what I would say, some of them come from Tanzania, and Tanzania was cool. I actually had a good time. I had fun in Tanzania, but I gravitate to the people that I met here that helped me when I went overseas. So there's a bigger contingent of Ghanaians that I met here than I met of the other races, But when I went there, everybody's friendly. Everybody's friendly. So it's not like you can't meet and you're going to meet tons of people, but it was much different because I was able to go some places that, maybe it's not on the map for everybody. You know what I mean? So that's why I say Ghana really pushed me, to really embrace me and stuff. Plus they have a lot for us to help us get there,
I totally agree. So let me ask you this, because you mentioned that your parents took you to the Caribbean a lot as a child. Where specifically within the Caribbean?
Well, my dad's actually Jamaican, so we went to Jamaica often. I got some cousins in Bahamas. We went there. We went also to Barbados. I got a lot of kinfolk out there, and we went to Bermuda once, but that was like a vacation. That wasn't really nothing. But yeah, we really spent most of our time mainly in Jamaica, but they did take us to some other places. They didn't really take us to Africa. That was when I got older, and I felt
Gotcha.
that I
Well,
got to go over there.
Well, I only asked that because I interviewed a gentleman, I guess about a month ago, and he is Jamaican himself, and he pretty much said the same thing you were saying about when he went to Ghana. It was actually home for him.
Yeah.
It was actually home. So
Yes.
it's, of course, the same thing for you saying that as well. Then I had another lady who's on, her heritage is Jamaican as well, and she specifically said the same thing too. So that seems to be the consensus for people with that, let's say, heritage coming from Jamaica.
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, Ghana offers a lot of fruits and foods that we already eat in Jamaica. So it's real easy to pick up on stuff and know exactly what that is and know what you can do with it. You know, you kind of stay home with what you got. But I got a friend, Azika, she's trying to move to Rwanda and never been there or not. She's planning stages, but I'm pretty sure she's gonna make that move. And Ghana was never on her list. You know, she been there and it wasn't on her list. She wants to go to Rwanda. So, you know, we're everywhere. We're all people somewhere. We all come from the same spot. So it doesn't matter where you end, you just end somewhere cool, you know, somewhere that really, really helps you on the inside, you know?
So tell me then, and that's a good point, especially you talking about your friend that's going to Rwanda. As you know, Rwanda purports to be the cleanest city or the cleanest country actually on the continent. So she definitely has come a long way since my time there. So I totally agree. With all of the different changes, I haven't been back there since it has done this revamping of herself, if you will. Yeah, I mean, she basically has transformed herself, and it has people being attracted to her like never before. But in terms of repatriation, it seems to be now, especially from persons in the United States, is really, really popular. Why do you think that repatriation is popular, and what does repatriation mean to you?
Oh, it's popular because it's something that we've all wanted. You know, we might not speak it out loud and say, I want to go home, but it's in your heart. Like it's something you want. It's like you're missing something around here. I don't know what it is, but you're missing something. You know, it's something that you're not enjoying in life. It belongs to you. You're supposed to enjoy this, you know? So for me, it means freedom. And people misconstrue what freedom actually means. Freedom don't just mean that, you know, I don't have to deal with racism and all that stuff. Freedom means I'm free within myself, that today is my day, that today I get to do whatever I want to do with my day. And I can bless myself by blessing this earth because this earth is going to bless me back. You know, for me, that's what it means. It means that I can go somewhere and be myself. No shields around. It's me. And people will love you for it. Maybe they won't love you for it. Doesn't matter. But I'm here and I'm free. And today is mine. You know? Yeah, but that's what it means for me. It means going home and actually becoming part of something. Not necessarily what can that country do for you, but what can you do for that country? What can you do here to make a change? Because in the States, we can make a change too. But it's different overseas because you really get the fruit of that labor, like you see it. Nobody's going to stop you. You can go as far as you want overseas. And that is what I need, that kind of freedom, that really the sky's the limit. You know, they tell us that, but that ain't the truth for us.
No, they do. They do. But, you know, just because, but a lot of times they say things and they don't really mean it. You know that.
Right.
But it's interesting that you used the term freedom, because truly that's what it is. I never really use it that way, but just listening to how you articulated it, that's pretty much what it is. I've always contended that I want to be the change I want to see. So people say, well, you can do that at home. Okay, listen. All of the methods have been tried and true at home. They are still not working. You ask for voting rights, you've gotten them, and nothing's changed. Jim Crow continuously changes into something else in terms of how you see her, but it's still Jim Crow. So we have never fully been vested in the society. You still have slavery on the books, that's legal, you know. So for me, it's a chance to be unique, different, in leaving that regime and trying something else, you know. So I guess that would be freedom, as you stated and indicated.
Well, I highly agree with you. We have been at this for a very long time. And I think a lot of people forget that the the last man that wrote a letter, I believe it was John Boston, about his freedom, like him moving to the north and getting free. Well, that's 158 years ago. That means his children of children may still be alive today. So what people don't understand is we really haven't made the strides that we belong. Now, we've come farther than any other race would have come in the same situation. But what I'm saying is they were much more unified in the past, civil rights and everything, than we are today. So if you want that unity, you're going to have to build that unity in a place that will allow you to build that unity. Ghana don't care. They will allow you anywhere in Africa. They don't care. They will allow you to be anything you want to be in that country. And that's what people have to understand. Don't give up here. You can go somewhere else and do anything you want to do. All the barriers that are in your way will not be in your way if you plan it.
Yes.
Now, some people don't plan it. If you plan it right, really the country is yours, and they will put it on a silver platter, and you can do anything you want. Anything you want.
It's interesting too, you know, because as you know, there is a lot of contention that's going on in the diaspora with folks saying, where people who are not for actually going and basically uprooting themselves and moving on the continent. But something that you just said as well, you said, you know, you have the opportunity to do everything with no barriers that you've ever wanted to do. All you have to do is to plan that out. Yeah. Whereas, as you know, in the West, that is just not the case. People have planned and planned and planned and still could not get it off the ground. Even some folks who have a couple of coins in their pocket, they have done all of this and they still cannot seem to elevate that off the ground to make it come to fruition. Whereas now you can think of it like a baby. You have an infant and you can mold this into being something that you want it to be. But we just don't have that opportunity in the West.
No, we don't.
So it's interesting too that you said that. So I definitely like how you honed in on that point. And so for those of you viewers and the ones who will rewatch this, take note to what he said, that it's very, very important. You know, I've been myself personally, I've been to 20 countries on the continent. And as I said earlier, they all have their unique spice and flavor as to what I can say I like here, I like here, I like here. But I do see a point of acceptance. I'm not saying that there are no ills on the continent, but we don't have to dwell on that. Because for me, the positives outweigh the negatives. Yes. You see? Yes. And I'm sure you would say the same, yes?
Yes, ma'am. I would definitely say the same. I would definitely say that I'm a food guy. I'm going to tell you now. I love to eat. All right? Most of us do.
Me too.
We love to cook, we love to eat. I'm alive in Africa. I'm alive in the Caribbean. You know why? Because the food that I eat is clean. And when I mean clean, I mean it just came out of the sea. It's clean. We're putting things in our body in America that really don't agree with us. And it's causing a lot of devastation. So a Black person would say, well, it's hard for me to go. It's hard for me to uproot. It's hard for me to do that. And I get it. It is. It's really hard for some people to do that. But if you lost your job and you lost everything you have today, but there was opportunity in Florida and you live in California, you're going to have to uproot to go. If we're telling you that you can uproot to save your life, save your children's life, save the future of our people, why wouldn't you take the risk this one time? We all have taken a risk walking out the front door as Black people. One more risk. Nobody's going to kill you in Africa because you're Black. Nobody. They're not going to say, he's Black, we're going to kill him. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Are there scammers? Are there bad people in Africa? Yeah. But I'm going to tell somebody this, and I hope people understand this. In this country, the majority of people who tried to kill me have been my own brothers and sisters right here in this country, right here. So what's the difference when someone says that I can't make the trip? You can if you want it bad enough. Just like you can buy some rims, just like we can buy a nice phone or a nice purse. If you want that freedom bad enough, if you're tired, you'll go get it. You'll do what's necessary, no matter what.
You know, but part of that too, Exodus, is that, which leads me into our next point. A lot of us, especially in the US, we have this dissension that well, Africans don't like us. So it's 55 countries, and all 55 countries and 1.4 billion people, they don't like you. All of them. You know this to be fact. Or did you encounter a few continental Africans back stateside? You all got into a tiff about whatever, and now you have condemned the entire continent of billions of people. You know, I don't understand that, but I think that for us, or what do you feel about, you know, as diasporans come onto the continent, we're going to have to work together to close the divide, because our cultures differ so much. How do you think it could be possible in doing that? What could we do to facilitate that growth? Because we have to have some growth in there in order to do that.
One, it's really easy, very easy to close the divide. Our problem is when we go somewhere, we believe things should conform to us. You work hard trying to conform to America. We cut our hair, we do all this stuff to conform and make America happy. You should be giving your life to make Africa happy, because Africa actually wants you there. So if we're having a divide where people are saying that, okay, well, Africans don't like me, I'm gonna tell you something. And you know this, you've been around. I seen a bunch of me in Africa. And I mean dudes that I wonder if my daddy been through here. You know, like that dude kind of looked like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, he ain't kidding me. He ain't kidding. But he walked up to me and we started talking and, you know, we got along. But what you will find is people in America don't like you. People in some place don't like you. You don't move to a place to be liked. You have to stop trying to impress people, be liked by everybody. That's not going to happen. You got to find that within yourself first. Once you find that, people will notice that that dude loves himself, or that woman loves herself, and they will love you the same way. In Africa, it's the one place you can go in this world and blend in. Nobody won't even know where you're from. People say, well, I speak English. They speak English. Trust me, they speak English. All right. There's people that were born overseas in America, in different places, UK, wherever, and they come home. They are blood Africans, just like that next man, just like we are. So they don't know you from Adam unless you let them know that by portraying that you're better than them, that they're beneath you. All right. Now, one thing I want to say is the group of black people that leave this country and go to Africa is a totally different group of black people that are saying those words that Africans this, Africans that. Same. The Africans that come to the States is a totally different group of Africans than the ones that are actually in Africa. It's the reason why they haven't left. No matter how bad things can be in their country, it's the reason why they have not left. Those people are the people that we, the ones that want to leave, will mess with. You will mess with them because you want the same thing. You know, the difference is they already have it, but they are willing to show you how to get it. If you're willing to humble yourself and come in with the attitude that I'm not going to take from this country, that I'm going to give to this country, and this country in return will give back. That whole one hand wash the other, I learned that down there, because if you look out for somebody else, they gonna look out for you. And I mean, they're gonna look out for you like family. You know what I mean? And don't marry into one of their family. You are part of them forever. You know, forever.
And you know what as well, culturally, in the West, we are not as communal and cohesive as they are, because of the how the European regime basically, you can say, groomed us, if you will. We lost our sense of community that way. And exactly to the point that you're saying, you know, one hand washes the other. Yes, it's almost a system of exchange, being reciprocal with each other. I talk about that a lot. And so, yes, people will be willing to help you if you are going that extra mile to say, okay, here, I got this, you got some I can use, et cetera, et cetera. But I think that we should not be, like you said, locked in our own silo, because we're so pumped, especially Americans. We're very pompous. We want everybody to conform to us and feel like we don't have to make any changes within ourselves. And that's just a fallacy, because we do. I mean, you're not perfect, but we want everyone to get on our program and not vice versa.
Right.
So causes issues. And if you look around, even within this community of people who are actually already on the continent in different countries, as well as people who are getting ready to go, you can see that seems to be the outlier and the problem. Like, I listen to these folks and I'm saying to myself, well, you can't go expecting all of these Americanism things. It's not America. But what you can do though, you have options. You have options. Run yourself right on down to Namibia, you know, Botswana, South Africa, and you can get something close to it. But don't specifically just take the whole continent and say, well, now I want that, all of this. But that's how we are as Americans. And it's sad to say. It's sad to say.
I did a video on that, and some people pretty upset about it, but I had to do it because I felt like you can't talk about a place. I mean, I don't know everything. I haven't been to every person's house, and I don't know everything, but I do know a lot of that stuff. That's not true. That ain't true either. Because I know how the people are, and they are very welcoming. Now, one thing I noticed in Ghana, maybe you remember this. I noticed this actually all the places I went. I didn't see a lot of crying people. No matter what the state they were in, like if they were doing good or if they were doing bad, they were pretty happy and they greeted you. They made sure you didn't walk by and didn't say nothing to you. These people were generally very, very happy. So I don't see a bunch of that where, oh, they don't want us here, or oh, they don't like us, or any of that type of stuff. I didn't feel that. I felt welcome. I didn't get the red carpet treatment, and I believe that will come in time as more of us come there. They will start to really say, all right, we got to get on board with this. These people are coming, and we need to make them feel at home. But I felt something, but it wasn't as much, as what people are expecting. But I didn't think I needed that. I'm just blessed to be here. I'm just happy that I'm here. I'm here. I'm on the land. I want to get down and touch it and kiss it. And, I'm here. I touched down. And people say, well, you don't have no roots there. Your mom, dad didn't come from there. You don't know that. But I do know life began in Africa, which means I began there too. And you got to accept that.
Say it.
It's very a special place. Any place you got, like Africa, where they love to talk down on it, that it's not special. You got to change. You got to flip that. It's got to be special. For you to spend so much time to say it's not, it's got to be special. And to know that it's for me, it's for you, man, ain't nothing better glory than that. It's for us.
But you know what that's about. That's propaganda.
Yeah.
The West divide, as you know, in order to keep us, let's say segregated in the sense.
Yeah.
And where continental Africans and blacks in the diaspora do not come together, we must do what? Cause dissension. Because number one, the black man is very innovative and he can come up with all this stuff. So if he began to immerse himself with the continental Africans and we start putting our minds together, there's nothing, no force that we could not do. So they had to keep us apart. That was by design. And then there's something else that you said, Exodus, when you were talking about, what you have there. Everybody's speaking this negative propaganda. But if you look on any financial research that's happening within the last 5 years, where are all the resources coming from? So people say she is this, that, and the third, but yet all of these Western powers want to pilferage the land.
Why?
For everything.
Why?
So somebody is lying.
Oh, yeah. Somebody wants you to believe that it's not all that great, but that assault been going on for years. But let's be honest about it. Africa in the future, if we come together as we're supposed to, and it's going to take time, Africa is going to be the place. It's already the place. But what I mean by that, I mean it will lead the world. It will take the world. We have the most people. We have the most resources. And the influx of Black Americans coming home, we bring dollars with us and everything. We bring the knowledge that we've learned from these people.
Knowledge,
that we can apply to our land and take our land in the new directions, because we're not just going to apply their knowledge. We're going to come up with our own too. And that's going to take us in a whole new direction. Africans can do this on their own. But you know what? Let's get a head start. Let's get a jump start. Come on over, brother and sister. We're going to do something here. And it's going to affect not just me and your children, but the children after us, the future of the world. Now I got one more thing. I got one more thing. I got one more thing. All right. We got lions out, and I saw them. All right. And I noticed one thing about lions. They're very strong. That's why we call them king of the jungle, right? Male gorillas are very strong, right? So now people ain't gonna like what I'm gonna say, but I gotta say this. I ain't never met no white person stronger than me, period. Ever. All right. Now I know people are gonna be like, well, he can't say that. Yeah, I can. I deadlift 750 pounds. I ain't seen no natural white man do that. Strength is everything in Africa. Strength. All right. To them, power is everything. But see, eventually we're going to have the power because we already have the strength. That's why that's that separation. They do not want you to get the power and the strength at the same time.
And the strength.
They do
yes.
not, they cannot be behind. They cannot be second. They must lead. So they do everything to keep you from Africa. Black people, ask yourself why they don't want us to go home. They tell me to go back to Africa, and at the same time, they shooting me when I'm on my way out. Why they don't want you to go? You better find your way home, because you're about to find out why you should have been born there. Like, I wish I was here, you know?
Well, we know why. One is, we just said, the unity in numbers, and you said it as this last part as well. Strength. The Black man is very powerful and strong. I mean, you can look at some of, hey, we can start in a small little place right over here called ancient Kemet. There's no way they could have made those pyramids and all those structures and be dumb and weak. Someone had to do the mathematics for that. Someone. That's serious engineering for those structures to be standing to this day and not falling in shambles thousands of years later. The men that they used to make those structures. Strength. So yes, totally agree. I totally agree. So let me ask you this. What do you think in terms of a person? So let's say I'm a newbie and maybe I've only went to one country on the continent. So let's say I've only visited the Gambia, but I want to actually repatriate and leave the West. What do you think a person should go about doing to decide where they want to go first? Is it true that they should actually visit these places first before they go, or go ahead and just make their plan and say, I'm going? Now, there's some people that have done that and they've been successful with it. So I'm kind of middle of the road, especially if you have a family. I'm middle of the road. I don't have any children. So for me, I'm very nomadic. I've moved all over the place. It's easy for me. All I need is my passport and my couple, 2 or 3 coins, and I'll go on my way. But it's different when you have a family. So what is your take on that?
First off, okay, you are a different breed of person, and I've seen some great things. Not everybody can do that. So, but I'm gonna tell you from the jump. All right, when you buy a car, do you just get in and drive out with it? Spend all that money on it? No, you do some research. You go out and you do the internet and this and this and that, and that's great. That's great. But then you find that I get in the car and I don't like this car, and the seats hurt and it don't ride right. You know why? Because you did all this research online, but you ain't got no in-depth physical touching feeling that I don't like this car. You didn't find out until you was about to buy the car. All right. On my channel, people get on me all the time because I say I'm a proponent of this 10 times visit thing. I don't know if you've seen that. I feel like you need to go to a place 10 times, and they get that confused by saying,
yes, I saw that.
You can go to a place one time and know you love it and feel it in your soul. This is where I belong. It don't take one time, but there are links that you are going to need to build in that country, and you can't build them in that one time. It's going to take multiple times in order for you to build the proper links to be successful. So as a family, we all don't have to go. All the kids don't have to go. Everybody don't have to go. Children, if you have raised your children right, I have children. They are a piece of ball of clay. I have molded them to be whatever I want them to be. They will come in here right now and tell you they love Africa. Right now, they would fight for Africa. They're little kids. They love Africa. They've never been to Africa. They don't need to go to Africa because they have been told where home is, where freedom is, where you're supposed to be in this world. They have been brainwashed by me, just like America tried to brainwash me, right? So I brainwashed my children. So I don't have to worry about that part of trying to teach them. You should be already doing it. Now, if you're talking about leaving overseas, then yes, you need to make multiple trips and you need to get some actual friendships built there. You can build those friendships right here in this country before you even go. Ghana's got places they hang out. Tanzania's got places they hang out right here in this country. Jamaica, everybody. Find those places. If you don't like them here, you might not like them over there. So you need to go ahead and get used to that community, those people. Now, if you're talking about bouncing and you want to go, financial resources, you must have. A place to live, you must have. All of this before you even go down. Transportation, you must have before you go. How do you get that? 6 months before you go get your apartment. You should have been scouting that. You should already have a place waiting for you when you get there. I found a house when I was down there because I know I couldn't stay in Ghana, but I was, man, I'm gonna give me this house. House was $30,000 in Ghana. That's a lot of money for
Yes.
me. That's a car. That's buying a car. So people that tell me, well, I couldn't find nowhere to stay. I can't believe that, because you could have bought a house before you even came down there. Period. All you had to do was come down 6 months early and look at the house and say, this is it. It's 30,000. If you saved your money correctly, you should have it. You know? So
You
I mean,
know,
it's not as hard, you know?
no, I was just going to say, because I have, of course, you know, I watch your channel, and yes, that is your ideology in terms of that. But you do bring up a good point as well, is that, yes, because people are, I couldn't find housing here, I couldn't find housing there. And like you said, sure, 30 grand is a lot for even some folks in the West who don't save their money, but they floss it. Another story for another day. But you're absolutely correct, because they could have had something without actually physically moving there, because you do have Blacks in the diaspora, whether they're in the UK or wherever, that have homes there that they've had constructed, and they hadn't even been there. But they have whoever the builder is send them videos and pictures, etc., to make sure that they're on, you know, making their milestones with the construction. So I totally agree with you. I know people who have made international moves, and as a family, I mean, with children, sight unseen, and they've been successful at it. But my thing, like you, I don't necessarily say 10 times, but I am a believer in planning.
Yes.
So even though as a person, a single person with no children, there still is a plan that I make. And I've never been in the military, but I got this thing about, you make yourself plan A and plan B, and then you must have a contingency. Contingency is because anything could happen. So how are you going to plan for, let's say, a catastrophe if you don't have a contingency plan? All military folks across the globe have a contingency plan. So people should have that. What that entails for you is different for me.
Right.
But I totally agree with you in terms of the planning aspect of it. That is very, very important. I think a lot of people are setting themselves up. And even if you watch some videos of some diasporans who went and they left, you can, as they begin to talk, Exodus, they're talking about this plan. They basically didn't have a plan.
Come on, sister, tell it.
So you make sure that you have a plan. So I harp that as well: plan A, plan B, and your contingency plan. That's very, very important. So it's interesting that you say that too. You know, in traveling with children, it's just different. It's a whole unique concept. There are certain things as a parent that you all would think about that a person like me would never even enter my frame of mind, because I don't have any children. And I don't think that people are really thinking about that as well too. You know, I don't think that that's really being considered, if you will.
Right. I've seen that. I've seen that on YouTube. Some people had some issues with their child, and I don't think they foresee all of that, you know, when they came, that support wouldn't be there. And what you have to understand is when you go in there, you better be ready to do things on your own. My children are my village. That is my problem. That is my thing. I don't expect America or anywhere I go, Tanzania, to take care of that issue. I have to bring the tools I need to do everything I need right here. And people are making mistakes. They're going to places and expecting poor people to fund their issues, to fund their foundation for their kids, or, you know, whatever it is. You have to have all of that locked out and planned. And if you plan, I'll give you an example. I've been planning this since 2003. I could have left 10 years ago. I could have been gone, but I got comfortable, and I'm doing good. So I stayed, and I made a mistake. And now I'm trying to get out. Like, you know, I made a mistake, but it takes that long. You know, that's why I say that 10 times, because if you have gone the 10 times, you know everything about that place. You know the lady in the market that's going to knock and help you out, that she's going to give you extra food, that I don't really have a lot of money right now. Take these potatoes for free. Like, you're going to meet that because you've been coming down there buying this stuff from the same lady for X amount of time, and you're going to have those links. And I believe those are absolutely crucial overseas. And I believe that helped me move around a little better, because I knew somebody when I got down there You know, if you don't know anyone, you can move around, but that's a special breed of people. And that person is
Right.
reliable anywhere. You can go to, like, someone like you can go to the Himalayas and do great. You know what I mean? Like, I'll go up there and be all scared and, you know, not doing too well. We're not all built like that. And it's a
Right.
positive thing to be able to move like that, you know. And I mean, I can survive. You can put me anywhere and survive because of my training. But we're talking about living, and we're talking about making sure your kids are right. People are not researching schools. They're not researching private schools. They're not researching how much it costs. They're not researching, what about my kid has disabilities? They're not looking at that stuff, that access and stuff may not be there. That doesn't make it a bad place. It just means you didn't bring what you needed in order for you to survive in a nation. You got a leg up that Africans don't have. You get to come to a place with everything you need if you want to bring it with you. Or you can come to a place and bring nothing and end up worse than the people that live there.
Hey, now that's facts right there. That's facts. You're absolutely correct. I recognize that some of us, we are so, you ever heard the term busted and disgusted? Some people are so busted and disgusted that they're negating what, like you say, you would normally do if is as if you went to buy a car. And I think that's what it is. And so, and then they become disillusioned. But you also said, and I love that you said this, Exodus, when you were saying, as a parent, your children, you're not depending on anybody else to handle your situation with your children but you.
Right.
Take note of that, replay viewers. Take note of that, because the day of the Geechee is gone. You have to be responsible for what you bring into this world. That's your responsibility, it's no one else's. So at all costs, do your due diligence. And I think that you'll be successful if you do just exactly what he has just articulated here. You know, what do you, or how do you feel? I posed this question to a few others that have come on my channel, because now these numbers are staggering. I watched the Africans Unite channel, and the young lady did a 4 hours on basically talking about Nigeria wants to have the 2021 year of return. So my question to you is, if the West starts seeing all of these blacks leaving in large numbers, what do you think they're going to do? See, you said it earlier. They've been saying, go back to Africa. Now, okay, we're leaving. You don't think there's going to be obstacles in place? I mean, tell me about that. Discuss that.
There's going to be some serious issues. And I would advise everybody out here listening today, do not wait till the last minute. I don't care if you don't want to go or if you're not sure. Go ahead. They're offering free internet visas in some spots. Internet visa. You just go online. Hey, I'm coming. Here's your visa. Citizenship in some spots. Don't wait till the last minute, because I'm telling you, when the day comes and America says, we're going to stop it, they can stop it. Trust me, they can keep you from leaving the country. I've already did my research. I already got some citizenship somewhere else. I can denounce this little stuff and I can bounce. Don't wait till the last minute. But I will answer your question. Yes, that day is coming. And there's a lot of things that they can do to stop you. For instance, we like to leave our money here because we don't want our money to devalue into the country we're going. So we like to leave our money. They can freeze your assets over here. So you need to have that mentality of, how am I going to survive? Do I have my money set up in other places that are in between? You know, it's not an American bank. It's not an African bank or whatever. That way I can, stay afloat, because they could freeze your assets here. And I got a thing the other day about a female who someone used her credit while she was overseas. She's been overseas for a couple of years now. They done got Rent-A-Center in her name. They done all these things. You guys got to secure that before you leave here. You can call down to the credit bureau and tell them to put a hold on your credit where it can't be used, and it lasts for a year. So if you don't, there's things you got to know. Like, you got to get serious about leaving, and you got to cover all bases. You can't see everything. That's why two brains is better than one. Ask people online that have done it, like you have done it. Ask her, hey, what do I do about such, 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 such? She will always respond to y'all. She's gonna tell y'all, this is what I did, this is what you should do, this and this and that. Resources. The reason why Africans do better than us, to me, is because they have a village. They have resources. They have family. They
communal
have friends from back when they were in, primary school. Black Americans don't have that. Half the people that are watching this video you don't even know a friend from elementary. We don't stay tight like that because they've taught us to pull apart, right? So you're gonna have to get this stuff set, situated. That way, if I gotta go, no matter if I got nothing or not, I might get down there and this friend I got is gonna take care of me. He's gonna make sure I get that house, I get this car, I get that. But is America planning to stop us? I don't know. I've seen some things that indicate that eventually, yeah, I possibly can see that because we're taking the wealth out of this country. We have some wealth here.
There you go. I was waiting for you to say that.
When we take their wealth out, wait a minute, and they can stop it. It's their dollars. They can stop it in their bank. But if you send it to the other banks, it's going to devalue. So we're kind of in a hard position. You just got to find yourself a bank outside that can be trusted. You can't get some bags and come 10 years, $10,000 each, try to carry all your money down there. I mean, I guess you can do that, but that ain't my thing. I wouldn't try to do that. But
it's not I'd say, yeah, if you will.
I'd be worried about that. I would already have my plan to get out of here because something like that is coming. It's on the horizon, just a matter of time.
Okay, and to wrap up, this will be our final question. What do you think the biggest, I guess I don't want to necessarily use gift, but the biggest thing that Blacks in the diaspora can actually bring to Alkebulan to basically work with their fellow continental Africans? What's the biggest thing you think they could bring?
I think the biggest thing that we can bring to them is not only the brotherhood that we are coming with, because a lot of us here are lost. A lot of us are cut off from our families, or we having issues, and we don't really know who we are. So you're bringing a person that wants to be part of this, that wants to be part of something. We never had a country. America's not my country. America's a place I live. Okay. Africans are born with an actual country. We want it so bad, the ones that have come. When we come, we want it so bad that we're willing to do almost anything. That's what Africa's getting. You're getting a person who truly wants to be here today, not a person who's visiting with bad intentions. All right. There's other races that come to Africa. We know that. They have bad intentions for Africa. We may think they're helping us, but they're really not helping us. They're taking more than they're giving. I'm not coming down to take. I'm coming down to give. All right. So, and I think Africa needs to see that we're coming. I'm giving up, the lovely life they think I have in America. I'm giving all of that up to come to Africa. I want to be here. Embrace me, and I've got that. So I don't have a problem with that. Some people didn't get that, but they didn't open themselves up to it because they think everybody's after them. They didn't open themselves up to be embraced. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Just Africa needs to know that we're sincere about it. Like, this is not a joke or a face I'm putting on. I really, really would love the opportunity to live and develop, go to the libraries, learn culture, learn this, learn that. I may never learn my true history of how, every little spot, but a piece of it is worth gold to me. That's enough just to go to a place and get off the plane. Right. I think a lot of Black people are missing out on something. They haven't experienced that. They don't know what it's like to get off and see a sea of all kinds of Black people, and as beautiful as you've ever imagined.
Yes.
And I've seen it, and I'm telling you, man, like, I got bumps when I think about it. Like, when I got off the plane, all the places I got off the plane, and how the people were, and I went down single sometimes, so I'm looking like some of the women, like, God, like, beauty, and I see beauty here in the States. But you're seeing true beauty. You're seeing no weaves, no nails.
No silicone. You're talking about no silicone. Yeah, what you talking about?
All of this girl, man, like, she the jeans. Like, you're seeing that. So I think Africa, just remember that we care about Africa. I got one thing. I got a video.
Go ahead.
Where a female was saying that we think Africans live in trees and they don't have houses. And I've never heard any Black person I know ever say that. And she got a big channel. She's putting this out, and it's kind of making a division between us and Africa. And we don't need that division. We need to be like this, how we're supposed to be, because that division is what the other West want us to have between each other. We don't need that. I've never heard nobody say that. I will move to Africa today. You told me things are right, I'm gone. I'm out. Peace. That's how much I love being down there. That's how much I loved it down there.
Well, I'll say this to you. My first time going, yes, I heard some ridiculousness like that. But my thing is this to people. See, you're not going to tell me what the countries on Africa look like, and you have never gone.
Oh, tell them.
Go run that scam over there. to someone with a weak mind. That doesn't work over here. I'm not going to allow someone who's never gone and say, well, this has happens. And how would you know? What you are repeating is propaganda. That's what you're doing. So that seems to be the consensus as well. You have a lot of people who have never left, as Lance Scurv say, they haven't even left their freaking county, the county in which they live, Exodus. They're going to tell you about Mother Alkebulan. They're going to run it down for you, though. They're going to run it down for you. Okay? It's kind of like somebody who's a 25-20 going to tell you about being a black man. I'm a black woman, and I can't tell you about being a black man. I've never walked in a black man's shoes. So how can I tell you about being a black man? I can't. I mean, I just can't. We identify culturally as some things, but as a man, I cannot tell you about your situation as a man. So people who do that, they're just basically breeding divisiveness because it's just stupidity. But you're absolutely correct. They need to stop doing that. Walk around your own front door, because people want to make the West be this wonderful, wonderful thing until you get your behind over there and get stopped by the police. Friend of mine's godson was killed 2 nights ago by 4 police officers. It's all on the news down in Jacksonville.
Yes, I heard of it.
18-year-old boy.
I heard. Yeah.
A mess. So like you, I've never, like you said, you're a black man and you've never witnessed a white man being stronger than you. So here I am. I'm a black woman. I've never felt unsafe on the continent.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
There are ills plaguing everywhere, because as long as you have humans who want to thwart the law and this kind of thing and be reckless, sure, you're going to have crime and things like that. But that is not something to deter me, because the crime that I see at home, just like you said, it far outweighs what I've experienced in the different countries there. Oh, my earring fit. But you know what's also interesting, I wanted to say before we wrap up, Malawi is considered the warm heart of Africa. That's the first place I went to. And people were so welcoming to me, and people who didn't even have much. But if I needed whatever little they had, Exodus, they were willing to give that to me.
Yeah.
And so that's actually how they got their reputation, because they're so open to people. Now, I had someone to say to me, well, that's how they got colonized, because they were being too nice. Shut up. Just stop. Because that's just a fallacy, but again, that's why they're called the warm heart of Africa. I have just enjoyed all the places I've been. I look to visit way more than that. There's still places I want to go. Now, I'm not really too keen on northern Alkebulan, and I think you know why. We're not going to get into that now, but I think you know why. However, there are other places I want to visit. I would love to get into the Congo and all of that, once they can, tone down some of the fighting and stuff. There's just plenty of places I want to go, but I'm open to all of that. And so I say to my viewers, you all be open to the possibilities, just as Exodus has explained that he has given some gems here. You really have tonight. You really, really have. And I appreciate you coming on my platform. I don't like to go longer than an hour. That's typically my stilo. But I want to thank you for coming and giving your insight and providing good knowledge. I want to see if we have some comments here. Oh, okay. Savvy Entrepreneur says giving and taking is good, but you're correct. Too much taking cannot ever be good. It should be a balance. So she basically was agreeing with you. Well, they've always been taken from. The Berlin Conference carved it up like a freaking steak. You take this, you take this, you take this. So no, my reason and my feeling about it is that, of course, I want to be the change I want to see. I want to implement some things that I know are needed based on my previous job history. So, hey, that's what I want to do. And then I'll make my final resting place there. My pulse will end up stopping on the continent. That's just how it be. they can throw me out to sea and I'll be just fine. So thank you for joining me. You have a good one, and put out some more of that good content, because you dropped some gems, even on your channel.
Right.
Your videos are not very long, but you dropped some good knowledge, and I want to thank you for joining me today. Any last words?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Actually, I just want to say that I hope all my brothers and sisters come home one day to some part of Black nation. It's nothing like it, but I do have to recognize, we all got to recognize, not everybody is built for home. Not everybody is free enough to actually see the beauty of home. They're too blinded. All right. Take those blinders off for 1 second. Open your eyes. You're going to see beauty you ain't never seen before. I promise you. Promise you. Everywhere I went was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like, they got this, and like I'm like a kid in the can, and the guys are looking at me like, what's wrong with him, brother? We see it in Jamaica and the different places I've been over there, but Africa is just different. Like it's different, and I mean in a positive way. You will
Yes.
remember it the rest of your life. You'll never forget it. So yeah,
Yes.
just remember, not everybody is built to go. Try to work on yourself first before you go to Africa thinking that they should conform to you. Learn their language, listen to their music, give them an opportunity to be part of your life, and you'll feel your soul likes this. I feel good, but
Yes.
I hope all my brothers and sisters come. Don't take your life. Come to Africa. I promise you, you won't want to die once you get there. I promise you that.
Yes. All right. Lizzabitty is taking us out. Have a good one.
All right.